I know a couple of people had started talking about miniature islands last week, and you know, I kind of put a stop to it fairly quick. You know, miniature highlands are a pretty contentious debate in the highland world. Some people insist that they don't exist. Some people insist that they do, and you know. But here's the real deal. Yes, miniature highlands exist, just like miniature everything exists. You know, miniature dogs, miniature cats, miniature people. That's what midgets are. And yeah, there are miniature cows born that for whatever reason, their genetic code says, hey, stay small. You know, so that's what they do. Now they're few and far between, granted. So when you find one that is physically sound and not, you know, doesn't have any issues, you know, and is a pure highland, you know, then you got something. The problem is a lot of people these days are taking any small calf and calling it a miniature because they know they can get more money for a mini. You know, when I got Kylo, he was about the same size as my German Shepherd. Me and my buddy actually lifted him up and stuck him in the trailer. So he was only, you know, 300-400 pounds at 4 years old. 4 years old, he should have been about 700 or 800 pounds, at least. You know, and there are people who have found smaller highlands that are breeding them. There are people who make use of a dwarf gene that's common in animals like Dexter's. It's not known to be in highlands unless it's introduced into the gene pool, you know, somehow. You know, usually that's by somebody crossing a highland with a chondropositive Dexter. You know, the dwarf gene increases the chances that, you know, that calf will be born as, you know, small. You know, a lot of people are wanting to buy them as, you know, pets. You know, suburbanites with, you know, some little kid who sees a advertisement for a mini cow on Craigslist, and you know, she goes running into the living room and says, Daddy, buy me that small cow. Of course, Dad looks at her and says, why, sure, baby girl. So they go on out to that farm, and you know, they talk to some guy who's, you know, got a little calf out there that he's claiming is, you know, 3 years old with horns that long. You know, and sure enough, it's small. So they throw that little calf in the back of the SUV and take it on home and stick it in the backyard surrounded by a little white plastic fence, and all the neighborhood kids come over and climb on it, and they feed it popcorn all day long. Well, hopefully somewhere along the way that cow gets some actual nutrition. And what usually happens is about 6 months later, those big cow genes kick in, and that thing starts growing. By the end of a year, you've got a 1,000-pound cow in your hand. Then what? You know, if you're not prepared for an animal that size, you know, you're going to be looking to get rid of it. So it's extremely important to know who you're getting a miniature cow from. Do your homework. You know, honestly, there's probably 4 people in this entire world that I would buy a miniature Highland from, and that's it. You know, if I ever got one from anybody other than one of those 4, I honestly would go into it expecting that cow to become full grown at some point. You know, it's like Kyla. Don't be poking at it, Amish. Kyla's been teaching you bad tricks. Alright, I'm getting out of this mud. And no, Vicky, I am not going to fall in the mud just to please you.